As much as I love my parents and how I've come out, however that is, I can't deny that I've been coddled and protected too much in my life. I can hardly blame my parents, understanding both the circumstances of their own upbringings and their attitudes towards treating children, but I know that they've taken for granted some traits of their own behavior that they didn't realize must be instilled in a child for them to be inherited. Quiet doesn't come naturally to some ponies, and work ethic doesn't come naturally to others. When I was 18, my dad was perplexed by the fact that I had no strong desire to leave the house. I asked, why would I? Each of my parents came from terrible home situations that caused them to go out on their own at young ages. Meanwhile, I've got an incredible relationship with my entire family and a great living situation. What's the rush? Alas, the cost doesn't go one way. Sure, I don't lose anything by staying at home, but if I'm not paying a hot chunk of the rent and utilities, then I'm costing something to the household. My dad doesn't want to work forever and has his own ideas of what he'll be doing once my brothers are done with college that don't involve coddling adults. I respect that, and while I find the uniquely Western normalcy of leaving the house immediately upon adulthood strange, I certainly don't disagree that if I'm here I should be providing. Fluttershy's relationship with the Breezies is like that of a parent. She wants to have them with her and to take care of them, even as she knows that they must eventually grow up and get out on their own. The detriment they cause to her livelihood and functionality seem like a correct trade-off for the ability to make sure that they never get hurt, even if this is the opposite of creating functionality within them. Like most parents, Fluttershy has only vague ideas about what's right for her kids and does a lot of random guesswork in the process of figuring it out. The kids don't know what's good for them, but it's hard to ignore what they want. Even as adults, we struggle with trying to provide one another with what we think we need versus what we think we want. In communication, we rely on the maturity of others to vaguely understand what they're doing. It's a bold assumption to make, but we don't really have many choices. Without someone to point to and consider an objective truth haver, we're all as good as children navigating our world. Even the goals are all made up and oblique. Every once in a while, we get a moment of clarity where it seems like we really know what to do, but communication remains difficult. Fluttershy is assured that she has to assert herself for others to get the message. I've told off my fair share of people in the day, as often for my sake as for theirs. If I share a trait with Fluttershy, it's her dangerous level of magnanimity that always teeters into subtly abusive relationships and an eventual snap of tensions. It's not easy to go through this time and again without abandoning social interaction altogether, but Fluttershy has a big heart. Examining the ebb and flow of my Skype usage and the people I keep in contact, I suddenly have another level of appreciation for the cycle of Fluttershy's anxiety and distance. Seabreeze is a child who could have fallen through the cracks, but instead carries his generation to the next level of existence as a great leader. I would assume that he's been through a lot in his life. If the group of Breezies are his peers, all undergoing this coming-of-age ritual together, then it's telling how Seabreeze already has a child. Not to say that every person with a child is mature, but we can fairly hope that one achieves some level of level-headedness before they can handle a committed relationship and responsibility. Realizing that Seabreeze can't make his journey alone is sobering. It reminds me of the children who have a real drive to succeed, who are trapped in a system that will never know how to bring them up, and who far outnumber the lucky few that will make it out. I was once a child who had to explain to my mom what I wanted out of life and how I planned to get it through a system that she couldn't possibly comprehend, being as I was a part of its pioneering generation. Very few of us know ourselves and our circumstances well enough to know when our parents are lost, and fewer still are so obscenely lucky as to have parents with open ears. The journey of the Breezies is bittersweet. At once a triumph of Seabreeze's luck, Fluttershy's open-mindedness, and a generation's ability to come around, as well as a sobering reminder of how much our own world begs to function so beautifully. That's all for this episode. I'm sure you have a lot of questions, so allow me to answer some of them. Yes, the pony videos are going to be like this from now on. My new artist is Hannah, and she does take commissions, so be sure and check out her Tumblr linked in the description. For now, I will be retiring Mizuki Takishima's original Digibrony avatar, but you'll probably see him pop up here and there all the time anyways. If this new style of video isn't to your liking, I recommend checking out Tommy Oliver's channel as well as Two Best Brothers Bitch About Ponies for more of the opinion-based immediate reactions to episodes. I have no intentions of changing back to the old style, so please don't cry about it in the comments. I'm going to make a post about why I've changed styles on Tumblr, which I'll link in the description, so go there for the long version. Before I go, I've got some shoutouts for my patrons whose contributions keep this channel running. Check out Scribble Squabble's channel for some reviews of grimdark pony fanfiction, and head over to Steph Roman's channel for all kinds of things from product reviews to art videos. Viewer contributions are what fund me with enough time to make all the videos on my channel, so if you want to help keep me going, please consider becoming a patron. Even pledging like 50 cents a video adds up to being helpful for me. That's all, and see you next week.
So the first heart croaks in blissful quarter time, a sacred swear born as a fractal echo that sets the vast dark expanse alight with pinpricks. Great and echo comes a meek, wonderful flutter, bestowed life and growth by the reverberating cheers of the faithful pinpricks.